Hey, hope you're having a great day. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 10 different universities that will allow you to earn entire bachelor's degrees in like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, insanely fast. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan, and I teach people how to earn college degrees faster. I earned my degree in just 9 months after dropping out twice. And I've had a lot of people on my videos comment and just say, show me the schools, like what schools should I attend? So my thought was, you know what? I'm just going to make a video dedicated to just showing which schools you should attend so that you can go get your college degree really, really quickly. So if that sounds good, like the video, subscribe, and let's just dive in. The schools I'm going to go through in this video are schools with what are called competency-based education programs, where all of their curriculum is self-paced, and they are what I call prove-it schools, where you can essentially prove that you've learned what you need to learn, and you get credit for the class. It doesn't matter how fast you do it. There are other ways to accelerate. One popular way is using what I call funnel schools, where you take outside credits like CLEP exams and online third-party credits like Sophia.org or study.com, then you transfer them into a university and then finish as a traditional student at that university. I don't love that as much because it can actually take longer because you got to spend a year plus as a traditional student, which takes a year plus, right? I want to show you schools where 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months is possible. And that's going to be all competency-based programs, or what I call prove-it schools. You learn what you need to learn, you prove it, you move on. Now, if you hit the internet and you go search for competency-based education programs, you're going to find schools that are not a good fit. I'm going to show you University of Phoenix right here. Bad example. They are not doing things right, okay? It says they have competency-based education programs here. If you scroll down, as you can see, regular traditional pace is 1 5 to 6 week course at a time. And competency-based courses, it's like 4 months to complete 4 courses. So basically 1 course a month, right? That's not cool. Like, they're capping you at about 1 course a month. That's basically a 4-year college degree, but the coursework is self-paced. That's not what we're looking for. So you need to be aware of schools like this that say that they have these programs and that they are self-paced, but they cap you and they limit you at how fast you can move. That's not what we're looking for. So let me give you some good examples. Let's move on to what is called Purdue University Global. It's kind of a cool story. In 2018, University of Purdue bought Kaplan University, another online but for-profit university called Kaplan. And they bought the university for $1 and converted it into Purdue University Global and converted from a for-profit to a non-profit. And that's a lot of what the transition was about, was to turn it into a non-profit program and combine and kind of team up with the University of Purdue. But Purdue University, they offer these programs to international students, to US-based students, doesn't matter where you live. They have all kinds of deep degree programs. Like, as you can see, aviation, like that's cool, business, communication, criminal justice, and on and on and on. But a lot of these programs are traditional programs, and traditional programs, whether it's on campus or online, they're paced the same. But I want to show you, if we go in, we'll use business as an example. They have like accounting degrees and supply chain management, business admin, finance, HR. But as you can see, some of these programs, like business admin, they have traditional Bachelor of Science, or they have Excel Track Bachelor of Science. These Excel Track programs are fully self-paced. I've helped students go through these programs in like 6, 7, 8 months, and it's really quick. And you walk away with a University of Purdue degree, which is awesome. Now, they also have some tech offerings. If I go to their IT, as you can see, they have an analytics degree, Excel Track option, cloud computing, Excel Track option, cybersecurity as well, IT, they have Excel Track as well. So you got to just go through these degree programs here and find the Excel Track options, because those are fully self-paced. You can go through really, really quickly. Now, there's some red tape. I haven't seen like 3-month degrees of this school, and I have at others. Little more red tape where it takes a term or 2 longer, but 6, 8, 12 months is absolutely doable at this school if you do it right. The next school I want to introduce you to is University of Massachusetts Global. It's kind of a similar story, where the University of Massachusetts went and bought another online program. But the catch is They didn't buy it for $1. They bought it for a whopping $130 million. They wanted to kind of expand their online offerings, and they closed this deal during the pandemic, really accelerated and made it happen during the pandemic because schools couldn't offer on-campus education anymore, so they're pushing for more online. Now, if we go into their academic programs, we're going to go into all programs, and you can scroll down and you can actually filter regular online programs or online self-paced programs. We want to filter for self-paced. And as you can see, there are self-paced tags here, and the programs say what's called MyPath. MyPath is their name for competency-based education. Now, they've got some business degrees, they've got some tech degrees, they even got like a master's program to choose from. Now, here's the big winner for UMass Global. It's like the cheapest school out there. It's like $3,600-ish every 6 months. But the catch, you can earn your full degree in less than 6 months. So you're talking about an opportunity where you can go earn a bachelor's degree in 6 months for $3,600. That's pretty crazy. So cost-wise, if you do go that fast, it's the cheapest option that I've seen. Even schools online that like the University of the People offer free tuition. It's like $5,000 for a degree, and it takes 4 years. Well, this like 6 months, $3,200, and it's a better school. This is pretty cool. The next school I want to show you is called Southern New Hampshire University. They've been around for a long time. They're just a pretty decent online university. They offer traditional programs, and they used to offer competency-based programs, and they got rid of those. But I'm going to show you a back door that allows you to still get into their old competency-based programs so that you can go self-paced. Now, most people that are accelerating at SNHU, they're using a transfer credit method where they're earning most of their credits outside, transferring them in, and then they're doing like a year at SNHU or 2 years at SNHU. It depends on the major they choose. But as you can see, they accept up to 90 credits. But look at this backdoor method that actually allows you into their self-paced programs. They have what are called community partnerships. And essentially what that is they work with other companies, and these companies kind of tutor you and help you through school, but they allow you to enroll in these SNHU competency-based programs that are self-paced. You're just doing it through like a tutoring service kind of, but they're called community partnerships. I know it's kind of weird, but it is what it is. It's the back door, right? If we scroll down here, you can see they've got healthcare stuff, general healthcare, communications, healthcare management, not a ton of offerings, but they do have some. The cool thing about this is like some companies will pay tuition for SNHU. So if you've got a company that will, maybe these are the offerings for you. But the catch is you have to find one of these third-party companies or community partners, and you have to enroll in these programs through these third parties. Here's a little list here. And you basically go to the company's website and you enroll through them. Now, each of these companies they have different price points. It depends on how much additional service they're offering you, like tutoring and things like that. But they each have their own prices for the degree. It's like same school, but different prices. Kind of weird, but that is the back door and how you get self-paced degrees from SNHU. Next on the list, we have to talk about Western Governors University. It's one of my personal favorites. They are the king of online self-paced programs. Now, as you can see, they have a business school, a tech school, a health and nursing school, an education school, and they have bachelor's and master's degrees. They have more master's degrees than anyone else out there. I mean, they have more bachelor's as well, but most schools have like 1 or 2 master's degree offerings. These guys have a ton. Now, the cool thing here, WGU has been around since before Google, which is almost forever, right? They're like older than most of the internet stuff. But there was a group of governors that wanted to offer online education to people in their states, and they came up with the idea for Western Governors University, and a whole bunch of people built it and worked on it. They have a really good reputation. Now, if we go into their degree offerings, you can filter business degrees. They have all sorts of concentrations within business, bachelor's and master's. Again, education, if you want to be a teacher, this is probably the school for you. Tech degrees, most schools don't have self-paced tech degrees. Like Purdue Global has a few. WGU has a ton, like more than everyone else, and master's degrees as well. So they're the king of self-paced tech degrees, and health and nursing as well. Like you can do most of nursing online. They partner with hospitals. You can go do your clinicals at hospitals. It's pretty cool stuff. Now, one of my favorite things about WGU is their reputation. They're good reputation for job placement, and they also are good reputation for getting you into graduate programs. If we look at colleges and universities that have accepted WGU grads into their grad programs, you're going to see some pretty big schools. As you can see here, like Cal, Cornell, Brown. If we go to the H to P's, you're going to see Harvard, Johns Hopkins, like MIT Sloan School, MIT's business school. That's pretty cool. They've got Purdue and Princeton and Penn State. Literally some of the best schools in the country accept WGU grads into their grad programs, which is pretty awesome. 7 out of 8 Ivy League schools are on this list. So if you want to get into a good grad program, WGU can keep those doors open. The next on the list is called the University of Wisconsin. You've probably heard of them. It's a really big school, really reputable school. And they have what is called this UW flexible option. They have a few degrees to choose from, not a ton, but they've got business. They have an Associate of Arts and Science, diagnostic imaging, self-paced. That's pretty cool. Health science, IT, and a nursing degree, RN to BSN. But it's the University of Wisconsin name. Some of these programs are harder to get into than some of these other schools. Sometimes you have to have, a year of school under your belt for some of these programs. If you go into the programs specifically, you can look and figure out exactly what's required for admission. But as you can see, like you must have earned at least 10 credits with a GPA of 2.0 or higher. That's not a ton. Like if you dropped out of school in the past, you likely have this. But some of their programs are harder to get into than others. That's kind of my point. The curriculum is a little bit more challenging than some of these other schools, but University of Wisconsin is a solid option. Next on the list is called the University of Maine at Presque Isle. It's the University of Maine system, kind of like Purdue University has Purdue University Global. University of Maine has this Presque Isle campus, and they have online programs. They have traditional, or they have what are called these Your Pace programs. These Your Pace programs, really quick, you can go at your own pace. It's kind of writing heavy. You do a lot of essays and things like that, but it's fully self-paced. Now, they are kind of the king of liberal studies majors. As you can see, accounting, it's a BLS minor accounting degree. If you look through, you can see a lot of these. It's like criminal justice with a BLS major. That's kind of the undergrad is criminal justice. A lot of liberal studies. Now, what liberal studies is where a big portion of your degree is made up of electives. So you can kind of study whatever you want. The pros of that are you can transfer in a whole bunch of credits, and it doesn't matter what the heck you studied, they'll accept just about anything. So it makes transferring credits in a lot easier because you don't have to take the exact correct classes. You can kind of study anything. There's obviously going to be certain requirements for, let's say you do a history degree. You're going to have 10 or 20 credits of actual history classes that are required, but a lot of it is electives. So it's really elective heavy. Gen Ed classes, electives with just a few classes that are actually studying what you're majoring in. Hope that makes sense. So the pro is easy to transfer in. Now the downside is on paper, it's one of the lowest paying majors out there, a liberal studies major. You just kind of got to choose what you're going to do for your career and see if that will actually open the door for that. I'm not a huge fan of liberal studies. I would personally go for some of these other programs, some of these other schools, but it might work. It does work for a lot of students. It just kind of depends on what you want to do for your career and what's the fastest path to get there. Next on the list, and you probably see a pattern here, this is East Texas A&M. It's Texas A&M. It's basically their online East branch where they offer competency-based programs, just like University of Wisconsin is doing and Purdue University is doing, University of Maine is doing, so does Texas A&M. They have these online competency-based programs, and they have a few offerings to choose from, not a ton, but they have some kind of unique ones. Criminal justice, law enforcement with leadership emphasis, like that's a pretty unique degree right there. General studies, health services, HR, nursing, organizational leadership, public admin. They've got some kind of random offerings that might be of interest to you. Now, here's the catch with East Texas A&M. It's the Texas A&M system, but they have tuition rules. Tuition, if you live in Texas, is super cheap, like cheaper than just about any other school on this list. But if you live outside of Texas, they basically double the tuition, and it becomes more expensive than just about any school on this list. But if you live in a state that borders Texas, then it's a little bit more than the in-state, and it's a pretty decent deal. So if you live in Texas or border Texas, this might be a good fit. If you don't, I would move on to some other schools. The next school on the list is Capella University. Now, Capella is just like an average online school. They don't have the best reputation, but they do have a lot of students that have had good experiences with them. They offer some programs that other schools don't. For example, if you want let's say like a master's degree in psychology, if we go to their master's degree in psychology, this is hard to find. Like, to find a self-paced master's in psychology, it's really hard. And they do have some unique offerings. If we scroll down here, what we're looking for is this flex path option. If they list, like the major you choose, if they list the flex path option, then that is their self-paced or competency-based option. You can go through quickly. Now, something else with Capella. Capella is owned by the same company that owns Sophia.org. It's the same company. So if you like Sophia a lot, I'm not a huge fan. I feel like they're kind of weak credits. They're fast and they're easy, but grad schools hate them and it can keep you from getting into programs down the road. It just kind of depends on what you're going for. And if these credits will get you to your end goal, then sometimes they can be okay. But Capella, if you want to do Sophia credits, Capella accepts a lot because it's the same company. So it's something to keep in mind if you do want those Capella credits. Next on the list, I want to talk about a school called South College. Now, South College, they've been around for a long time. They're a brick and mortar school. There's several different locations, but it's really decent, solid school. They didn't have an online presence. They didn't have competency-based education programs. Then there was a guy by the name of Dr. Michael Patrick, who I did an interview in a video right here. He used to work for WGU. He really wanted to push for doctorate programs, competency-based doctorate programs. It wasn't happening at WGU. He left and came to South College. Well, they let him build out, or lead the team that built out, these competency-based education programs. And would you look at this, they have doctorate degrees, fully self-paced doctorate degrees. That's really cool. They kind of specialize in offering degrees that no one else offers. As you can see, a Master of Science in Criminal Justice, an MBA Executive, an MED. By the way, an MBA Executive is like a more niche MBA. It's actually a pretty cool program. They have an MA in Ministry. They have a Doctorate of Ministry. They have Doctorate of Nursing, Doctor of Medical Science. That's cool. They have a DBA. I love the DBA. I think that's really cool. But they got really unique offerings, and they're fully self-paced. And they're from South College, a brick and mortar school. It's been around for a really long time. Next on the list, let's talk about Walden University. Walden is another online university, maybe like Capella, just kind of like your average online school, nothing special about it. But they have what are called these tempo learning programs, okay? These tempo learning programs can be really fast. If we scroll down and look at these programs offered, as you can see here, they've got like early childhood studies. That's kind of hard to find. They have health studies, public health, like some pretty niche, unique offerings. They are another one of very few schools that has a master's degree in psychology that's fully self-paced. They have a master's in criminal justice, a master's in early childhood studies. They've got some nursing programs. Now, I recently helped a student who went and got this early childhood studies degree right here. Now, she already had her associate's degree, so she had 2 years left for her bachelor's. She finished this program in 7 weeks. So you can go through these programs really, really quickly if you do it right. You just need to make sure this is the best fit for what you're going for. If you're needing some of these niche offerings, might be a school for you. Now, I know I've already gone through 10, but I've got a bonus school for you, and I hope you'll stick around for it. It's called Jayhawk Flex, and I'm really excited about this. It's the University of Kansas, or KU, like one of the better schools in the country, really, really high-level education. And they have had for a few years now, they've had a team of 100 employees working on building out these Jayhawk Flex programs. The reason I wanted to share this is because this fall, they're actually launching their first Flex program. It's competency-based, and it's a master's degree. I believe it's in something like organizational leadership, if I remember right. But they've got a bunch more programs to follow, and enrollment is opening up soon. So if you're watching this video, maybe you're watching it a month or two after I recorded it, you need to check out Jayhawk Flex, because really high reputation school with fully self-paced programs, definitely a school. If I was starting over, I would look into, and I would be really excited about. Now, there's a catch to all of this. Yes, these schools allow you to go at your own pace, but universities are businesses. They don't want you to go graduate in 6 months, because then they make less money off of you and you are their customer, right? You can go at your own pace, but the schools have like the traditional cycle of learning where it's your textbooks and homework assignments and lesson plans and study guides and essays and group projects and all the stuff that most of us don't like about school. They're still structured in that way, but they're self-paced. Here's the trick. If you learn the material and prove that you've learned the material, you can go really, really quickly without having to use all the resources they offer in that traditional cycle. I teach a process called degree hacking, where I teach students how to skip the traditional cycle and go earn these degrees by self-studying way faster, save a whole bunch of time and a whole bunch of money. If you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to some videos down below. One is going to be to my program where I help students do this all the time. And one is going to be to a 3-step process of degree hacking where I walk you through kind of how the process works. Hope this video has helped. Use those links down below if you're interested, and like and subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next video.